Good evening, everybody. It's game week 9. We've got a lot to talk about tonight. Harry Kane, Morata, Aguero, Sterling, basically Man City and Harry Kane. And maybe Ben Davis. And maybe some other questions. Whatever you have in your locker, make sure to use the chat to answer them. Welcome to everyone that's already here and anyone that tunes in later on. There's polls in the... getting good at this now. Top right hand corner, click the little eye. There's 4 to vote on, which are Game Week 9 captain, what to do with Harry Kane, number of transfers this week, and which Man City mid. In terms of my own team, I've got 1 free transfer this week. I kind of clue about what to do with it. Will there be live transfers tonight? Unlikely, because I'm not really too sure what to do. I'm thinking about get rid of Davies, get rid of Kane, keep them both and just banking my transfer. We'll see how it goes. Nice weather. No, not here. It's been raining all day. Apparently the storm's coming back this weekend. Although I don't think it's going to be as bad as Monday, when we all had days off work and stuff. Yeah, I will just mention what people are talking about in the chat. Not the not the greatest at stuff like this, but yeah, I did get some sad news this morning. So anyone that's watched the streams before, and certainly those that have been here since the start, will know Phil Goldring sadly passed away. So obviously thoughts with family and friends. He was always in the chat, always answering questions. Seemed like a really nice guy. Didn't know him personally, but always out the box thinker, I would say. Kind of anything went for him. So Phil Goldring, that is. He was one of the moderators on the stream, actually. So yeah, really sad news. He'll be missed. I just wanted to say something because he was a regular here, to be honest, and I did think in the last stream that he hadn't been around for a little while. So yeah, free hit king. He had a great score with his free hit. Actually, he was one of the ones that got me thinking about using it at a different time. Really good player. And, he'll be missed. Like I said, always helping in the chat. But I don't want to be cliche, but I'm sure he'd want to, if he was here, just want to chat about FPL. So we'll carry on with the show as normal. We'll talk about Harry Kane soon, and we'll carry on. Ever been in Norway before? Nope. I'm not much of a traveller, to be honest. I would like to go to some more places, but Norway's not really high on the list, but not for really any good reason either, to be honest. Maybe one day. Is it time? Should we just start with the 3 big talking points then? Because I know more people will tune in later. Ben Davis first. So I think I got it wrong on the video. But obviously Rose is back now. And that's a problem. So Ben Davis, I think I'm going to keep him for now. At least this week. The thing is, I don't really see who I want to bring in, to be honest. I think there's a chance that Liverpool blank again. But yeah, I think I'm going to keep him basically for Liverpool game, and then reassess after that. I think Danny Rose is likely to come straight back in. Not come straight back in. Maybe play a bit part for a while, but because there's so many fixtures coming up, they are going to rotate. We've seen it before. I'm under no illusion that's going to happen. It's going to happen on the right as well. So I think I keep for now and wait until he starts missing games that aren't through injury or illness. But yeah, I think I'm going to keep, basically. Now, if there was a defender that I really wanted that was emerging, that was doing super well right now, then I would. I know people are looking at Otamendi, but Not for me right now, I don't think. So yeah, I'm going to keep Ben Davies. Phil Jones, what to do if he doesn't get past fit? I'll have to look at getting rid of him, I suppose. Just because I don't want to play Sutner. Or I keep Jones and transfer Sutner out for a 4.5. And just bench Phil Jones. So maybe I'll do that. We'll see. Are you worried about not having 11 players playing? I'm not worried yet. I'll wait until the press conferences. There's every chance that Davis and Jones play. Especially Jones. I think Davis is mainly still flagged because we've not really heard anything, have we? He didn't get... He's not like a recurring injury or anything, right? That I've missed. Is it wrong to eat an entire pack of fruit gums? You are asking the wrong person. Why did you sell Phil Jones on my Gameweek 8 wildcard? I don't know. It seems like great value, to be honest. So the other big talking point is obviously Harry Kane. What to do with him? So I'm basically looking at bringing Morata in. Because I'm a bit worried about captaining Sterling and Jesus. And to be honest, I'm a bit worried for no good reason. Because they've both been on form. There's every chance that they play. So why not captain them? They're on top form. Now Burnley probably not going to get absolutely like tanked or whatever, rinsed, however you want to say it. They're not going to get. I don't think they're going to get beaten 5-6-0. But could Man City put 4 or 5 past Burnley? I don't know. Burnley don't concede that many usually. They're conceding a lot of shots, but that doesn't tend to convert into goals too often against them. So I don't know. I don't really want to captain Kane. Morata I would captain. The other problem with Kane is I don't really see him scoring too many against Liverpool or Man United. So I wonder if I just get Morata in and then look to bring Kane back in game week 11. But with my defence, I think I'm... What's the word? I'm cutting it close, I suppose, with my defence. That's not the right words, but soon enough, my defence is going to hurt me. I think I'm getting away with it at the moment. A week early to get Morata, maybe. Perhaps we should see if he's totally over that hamstring injury. Maybe, yeah. Did he play? He played the full 90 minutes, didn't he? I think. The thing is, if Kane scores against Liverpool, even if he scores one, which, let's be honest, is entirely possible. I mean, 1 goal for one of the best strikers in the league. Yes, that is possible. Then straight away I regret getting rid of him because Morata, will he score a brace or hat-trick? Maybe. But it's another transfer to get Kane back. So if he scores even just 1 goal, then I'll have wished I never got rid of him. And if that's all it takes to wish you didn't get rid, it's not much, is it? Because if he does well, yes, I'm expecting a blank against Man United. Maybe that's slight bias because I'm a Man United fan, but I just think we've got such a good defence. And then it's such a good run of fixtures for Spurs. I'm going to want him back. Doesn't matter what form he's in, I will want him for those games. Rightly or wrongly, I will want him. So, I think I'm going to keep Kane. I think I've been patient this season, and I'm doing okay. I think 2 free transfers, possibly a transfer on my defence this week. If not, 2 free transfers next week. Keep the wild card in my back pocket. Go from there. I know that's boring, but I don't know. I don't think there's a rush to get Morata in. I mean, Chelsea do have really nice fixtures. But then Hazard scored 2 in the Champions League, so is he now the one to get? They just got beat by Crystal Palace as well. I know they didn't have Morata for that game. I don't know. I feel like I'm not 100% on Morata. And I think that's enough for me to put me off doing it. I think. But then I keep thinking back to Watford and Bournemouth is much better than Liverpool Man United. And we've seen that Morata can score. So yeah. I bet that hasn't helped any of you at all. But that's kind of my thoughts. That's how it's going around in my head right now. Watford will beat Chelsea 3-2. I mean, that's not necessarily the end of the world from a fantasy perspective. If Morata scores those 2 goals. How do prioritise team value in transfers? I don't know what you mean by that. So yeah, I think for me I'm going to stick. I mean, what I'd like to do is Vardy to Morata, but I have to get 1.5 million out of thin air. If you have the wildcard, then take the punt. Yeah, that's another good point. For 2 weeks, just do it and bring him back maybe. Honestly, I'm almost scared to wildcard at the moment. Because I think when you wildcard, 2 things happen. One, you really need it. You do it early because you've got loads of duds from the start of the season. Or you do it when you maybe need it, maybe you think you need it, or you're just worried about a few players. But because you wildcard, you change everything. And there's not a lot I want to change about my team. Not huge changes. Yes, Foster needs to go. Sutton needs to go. Long needs to go. But they're not huge concerns when Elliott's got good fixtures. So I don't know about the wildcard. Really don't. I've not used any chips yet. My whole team plays in five matches. Not quite all eggs in one basket, but... You only changed 6, Matt, and had no regrets. But, were they like big players you changed? Oh, Jesus Christ. This guy. There we go. Were they like big changes you made? Because, yes, I would like to pretty much change most of my bench, but I'm not really usually going to play them anyway. Like, out of my main team right now, let's say I wildcarded this week. I'd want Salah still because I want to think that he's going to do well after Spurs. So if I don't wildcard now, I can wait and see if that happens, and then maybe get rid of him later on. I don't think Sterling's a long-term pick necessarily, so I wouldn't be that confident about getting him on wildcard. But I'm happy to keep him now. Eriksen's similar to Salah, I suppose. Jesus looks good right now, but maybe he's Morata longer term. So I'm barely thinking about the wildcard, if I'm honest. As in, thinking about using it. It's just not happening. What's my team value? Not sure. Check later if we have time. Heidi, it seems that most of City's goals involved De Bruyne doing something impressive. He's unlikely to score highly, but do you think City's big scorers will drop off should he get injured? Possibly. He seems well, they've got David Silva, to be fair. He's pretty creative too. But yes, De Bruyne is amazing right now. Yeah, I'm not using the wildcard, not taking any hits. I've taken 1 hit in 8 game weeks so far. That's unheard of. You thought I needed the wildcard last week? Oh. I thought my team was okay. I had 2 free transfers last week though. And I think I was a bit more confident with Phil Jones than a lot of people were last week. if you had to get rid of Davis, which defender would you go for? I think honestly, it's a great question, and I don't have a very good answer for you. I mean, David Luiz played in centre mid, but I don't know if I'm super confident about their ability to get clean sheets right now. I mean, maybe Maguire, maybe Daniels, but I like Daniels more at like game week 12, I think. Otamendi. Yeah, people saying Daniels in the chat. The thing is, does he not have like a bad fixture to come? Stoke away and then Chelsea at home. Yeah, I want him from game week 11, really. Again, another good reason to wildcard later. Otamendi is a player a lot of people are getting in, but I don't know if... A, I want to tie myself up with a third City player right now. B, whether... Did I say 1 or A? Anyway, we're going with B for the second point. I'm not sure about Man City defence. I know they've been doing well. Still, I hate when it gets like this. I kind of like... I like consistency, so I've liked owning Davis because I've not had to think about him. And now I'm having to. I'm struggling a bit. More so have fear of making the wrong move. The wing-back era seems limited now. I do think the wing-back thing was... And I probably did it early on as well. Was probably blown out of proportion a little bit. Davis is a seasoned keeper. I'm not sure about that, but I'm probably going to keep him for now. All we need is Rose to have a setback. Pochettino. I mean, let's be fair as well. Rose made some pretty bad comments about Spurs. Maybe Davis has done enough to become number one. Now, number one as a Spurs fullback is not necessarily a good thing because it just means you get rotated out of the easy games, which would be a nightmare. You don't want Davis to start missing the easy games and playing the tough ones. We'll have to see. Would you switch Ali to Sterling this week for a free transfer? Do you know what? I probably would. I think you get money, you get the player in form. Ali looks out of form. Spurs have got 2 bad fixtures. I don't know. People say they've watched Spurs and they think Ali looks okay, but... And I'll grant it, I've not seen every Spurs game, but the ones I have seen, Ali's just not looked good to me. I think when he got 2 assists in a game, one of the games I watched, I think, and to be fair, one of them was okay, but it came from a mistake. Who was that against? I think it was West Ham, and the other one was just a blocked shot. Now I know in FPL terms they all count. It's unlikely he'll be able to do the same again. Do you know what I mean? He's not going to get a blocked shot and an assist every week. Is Ali going to be in the scout picks? I don't know. I don't have anything to do with the scout picks. Trying to keep up with the chat. Play USC, no idea what that is. You have Kane and Jesus? So do I. Should you get Morata and Aguero? No. Maybe you could swap Kane to Morata. And that's up to you. You don't need to swap both. Jesus has done nothing wrong, really. Plus, we don't know if Aguero's going to be back. I think Aguero's a risk this week if you want to bring him in. See what Pep says. I mean, he's obviously okay to play some kind of minutes because he was on the bench, but until he's starting again, not really that interested. Any value bargains? No one really out of the ordinary that you won't have already considered, to be honest. I don't have any like left field picks. I am going to go... Oh, you're saying midfield. I was going to say 2 defenders. I am going to go back to Charlie Daniels, I think. Had him earlier in the season, let him drop 0.1. Scored that goal for me against City. Didn't really do anything else. Looked okay, to be fair. But just didn't get the points. Got the fixtures come in, might drop to 4.8. I think that's a good price. I still think one of the Burnley defenders could be good. Midfield-wise, I think Zaha, maybe. I think Richarlison. Anyone below that price. Choupo-Moting, maybe, because he's got the nice fixtures. But Stoke and Choupo-Moting, I'm not for me, I don't think. I think I prefer Richarlison. I know he's a bit more money, but worth it. Zaha, I really want to see more on. Again, I think sometimes, because obviously he played up front. If that continues, then you've got an out of position player. But sometimes I don't know about a midfielder playing up front. I don't think it ever really works how we want it to. See, Antonio, to me, I think, to be fair, Antonio's done it before. He has been consistent for patches, I say. Like, he'll go on a run of games. Maybe not consistent, but a run of games. But for me, like, Antonio's playing for West Ham, and that's almost like Choupo-Moting and Stoke. I'm just not convinced by either team. Now, sometimes you get a bad team where the star man just does well, fantasy-wise. Like Sigurdsson in Swansea. I don't know. The problem with Antonio is like 7.4 or something like that, isn't he? Let's have a look. 7.5. I thought he might have dropped. And that's so close to like a Man City mid. I just don't know if you get Antonio. For me, I want to either spend more on a Man City mid or just get Richarlison instead and have 1.4 million. Gross is... I can't argue against him anymore. I think he's chipping in here and there. But you've got to be prepared for plenty of blank weeks with players like Gross, just like I am with Atsu. Yeah, no, I like Antonio, don't get me wrong. But I just think he's overpriced versus what else is on offer right now. Now, there might be a time when 7.5 million for him looks really good. You want Gabbiadini. Do you know what? Someone was tweeting about it. I think it was Apple Bonkers. And I thought, do you know what? Maybe now is the time to own Gabbiadini. But nah. Lewis Kirby. What a lovely guy. That's one subscriber gone. I might not get to eat this month. That might be a good thing. I don't think people are getting suckered in by Gabbiadini, to be honest. I did finally get points from Tom Carroll. It's quite funny actually, because I mentioned, by the way, you have to excuse me, I think someone asked me earlier if I had a cold. I don't think it's a cold, but nose is starting to go. Maybe it is a cold. What was I going to say? What did someone say to me earlier? Oh, I've forgotten now. Tom Carroll, oh yeah. I think I mentioned on the last video that I never got a goal from Vardy. And people were like, did you not play then, like 2 years ago? Absolutely did. Just never had him. I had Mitrovic for a while. Will Phil Jones play on the weekend? We'll have to wait till tomorrow and see. It looks good though. Carroll's looking an okay buy now. Yeah, he's looking okay. I like him because it does look like he's one of those players that once he gets attacking... This is the second time this guy's been spamming. Cheers, Fuzzy. I've forgotten what I was saying now. Yeah, no, Carroll looks like he's one of those players that when he does get attacking returns, might not happen that often, but he's going to be in the bonus. Do you think it's worth forking up the extra change for a premium keeper? See, that's one of those things where I've got poor logic, because my head doesn't say Man United have kept 8 clean sheets in 9 games. They've got Matic, they've got De Gea, they've got a pretty good defence. They're going to keep clean sheets. My head says, well, De Gea's kept like 6 out of or 7 clean sheets so far or something like that. And that can't continue. So I think those that got De Gea at the start are looking great. And it was decent to spend that extra million. Yeah, 7 out of 8 in the Premier League. I think 8 out of 9. 8 out of the last 9 or something. Anyway, I don't know. In all competitions. Anyway, he's got a lot of clean sheets. I just don't know if I... Basically, what I'm trying to say, in a really poor way, is that when I wildcard, I will probably go cheap again. It doesn't matter how well the premiums do. I just never want the money in those positions. Lloris from Gameweek 13 looks really good. Yeah, I mean, Spurs have got great fixtures, but again, do I want to spend that money on a top keeper? It might work out. It's just, where do I lose? Like, obviously I could, on a wildcard, I can change the budget around a bit, but like right now, where do I take $1 million out of to get a better keeper? I downgrade Vardy, basically. De Gea will drop off a bit, surely, but De Gea, Jones, Valencia are maybe the best 3 Man United players. Interesting. Even as a Lukaku owner, you're slightly hesitant to captain this week. Yeah, do you know what? On the Scoutcast, I was actually quite pro Lukaku captain. But it depends who else you've got. I'm not sure I would be captain, especially if you've got a City attacker. I don't know, it is Huddersfield. But I think we haven't looked as good without Pogba. Mkhitaryan's not looking as creative right now. Rashford looks like he's picked up a knock. I know Martial's played well as well. Has he been as good as Rashford? I don't think so. So I don't know. There's talk about Lukaku now becoming less of a figure in the Man United team, but I think that's just because of the fixtures and the way Mourinho sets up. So I'm wavering a bit on Lukaku captain, but I think he's going to get something against Huddersfield, surely. Morata captain, there you go. The people have spoken. Don't forget, by the way, top right hand corner, click the little eye, vote on the polls we have up live. We'll go through them in about 20-ish minutes. And quite a few people watching today. If we hit that like button, get to 100 likes, that'd be awesome. Only 35 away from that. Lukaku, Jesus, or Hazard captain. It's got to be Jesus, hasn't it? Hazard's like the risk is probably a bit too far, especially after he scored 2 goals midweek. The punty one out of those 3, I'd say. Definitely a differential. He's owned by less than 5%. Hazard, that's ridiculous. I got 72 points last weekend. Jesus likely to get dropped? I don't think so. Hasn't really happened too often this year. Jesus definitely won't get 90 minutes. He only got rotated recently though. Nailing the captain this week will be huge for overall rank as everyone's going in a different direction. Yeah, that's the beauty of FPL right now. There is no definite. Like if Kane was in form at home, I'd probably captain Kane against Liverpool. You think Hazard's ownership will get up to 20% at some point? Yeah, probably will. He's gonna have to do something a bit special though. The problem with for Hazard, is there's so many midfielders who are cheaper who could keep up with him. I don't know if he does enough these days to make me want to spend the extra money on him when money is so tight. Because of the way FPL have priced the players this year, money is tight, and it's probably going to be tight most of the season. So I'm not really looking at Hazard. And like I said I think I said it on the Scoutcast, Hazard takes up a midfield spot where there's quite a few midfielders I like. Whereas if I want to go for like Hazard or Morata, then I think I prefer Morata, taking up one of the forward spots. Don't forget the horrible season Hazard had a few seasons ago. Yeah, but that happens. Yeah, Martial could be a differential this week. If you're playing like a daily game or something, you've got to look at Martial. You know Kane will somehow score big points versus Liverpool if we take him out. That is the worry, right? That's why nobody wants to remove him, because we know he can score goals. And he scored plenty this season. He's just not doing it when we want him to do it, and that's the problem. Yeah, drinking water today. Koeman to be sacked. I saw one journalist talking about it, last time they lost or the game before or something like that. And they're basically saying, like, who would they bring in now? That's the problem. Do they give him the time? I don't know. You got to keep Kane for one more week. Yeah, and it's like I said earlier, one goal against Kane. Suddenly he's scored at Wembley in the Premier League. You look at his home fixtures to come, and suddenly he's in all our thinking. Game week 11, he looks like the standout captain. Poor Everton, Arsenal up next. Well, Arsenal game, that's a good chance to get a win. Did the back pocket wildcard survive Hurricane Ophelia? Yes. Is Lacazette now a good punt for the Everton game with the way they're defending? Maybe. I just think if you haven't already got him or Morata, you just bring in Morata instead. I'm not really. When I first started playing FPL, I'd always look for a punt somewhere for someone that no one else was thinking about. But I know people are going to hate me saying this. It doesn't work that often. Like if you're going for Lacazette because of the fixtures, I really think you just get Morata instead. Lacazette is on penalties though. Storm Brian, yeah. Storm Brian's coming this weekend. Hasn't got quite the same ring to it as Storm Ophelia. Ophelia? However you pronounce it. Cheers, Robert. Thanks for tuning in. By the way, if you are new around here, if this is your first stream that you're tuning in for, don't forget to hit subscribe. We're on 5603, so 5,600. We're coming up, or sorry, we're on the road to 10k. It ain't too far off, ish. Yanks, cheers for the donation. Ah, look at that. He's finally grouped them together instead of doing one after another. Appreciate that, Yanks. I better read it before it goes off the screen. You've got Kane, Vardy, Abraham, one free transfer, 3.2 million in the bank. I mean, it was hard to say without the rest of your team, I suppose. I mean, if you were looking to get rid of someone from there, then maybe Vardy to Morata or Vardy to Jesus. But I think you can probably stick this week. Maybe save a free transfer. Depends what your midfield's looking like. If you've got no City attack, maybe look at trying to bring one of them in. Not got no. That was really bad. Not got no City attack. Wow, 600 subscribers in no time. Oh, I don't know about no time. But yeah, they're still coming. 10k is the next big time. Rhinos Leeds. Long time no speak. How's it going, dude? Now that is a man. I think that's the guy from FFS, I take it. That is a man. Are you the guy from FFS? Before I go on. If you are, that man loves a differential. Or thinking outside the box. Oh, we've hit 100 likes, you legends. We'll still leave about 10ish minutes for the polls. Don't forget to go and vote on them, top right hand corner, little eye. How's it going? Not got no, nice cockney. Just comes out sometimes. If you didn't have Jesus, would you be bringing in Aguero for Kane? I think it might be a bit early on Kane, Aguero, to be honest. He could start, but we don't know for sure, and that's a worry for someone that's like 11.5 million. Do I think the Burnley defence represents better value for money than City at the moment? You consider the defender, but can't make it mind up on who. Money is no object. Get Alonso then. In all seriousness, she just can't speak tonight. I really want a Burnley defender. I think after Man City, it's Newcastle at home, can see a clean sheet there. Southampton away. Now, to be fair, they scored 2 goals in the last game, but away from home, Southampton attack just not that great in general. And then Swansea at home. I could see 3 clean sheets there for Burnley. Honestly, I think I'd rather have the money and not get a Man City defender. But obviously, that doesn't work this week. So if you need someone right now, then maybe you will have to look at Man City instead. You've got no Man City, you've got Sanchez and Hazard instead. See, that is exactly your type of moves. I'd say the season's probably not going too well, though, if that's the tactic. But that could all change. How long has the stream has been going? 45 minutes. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you haven't already, Jamie. We're thinking about a cheap midfield with money in 3 top attackers and 4 to 5 very good defenders. I mean, who are the defenders, though, in that scenario? I don't want to skimp in midfield. I think midfield is looking good for value right now. What's the biggest points hit you've ever taken? I've definitely taken... Did I take a 16? I think I took a 16 last year. In the blank game week. Definitely took 12. Maybe 16. I can't remember now. So hard to be a top of FPL this year. It really is a marathon, not a sprint. Give us some time. Thoughts on Tammy Abraham? Yeah, he looks fine as a cheap forward. Again, like for that price, as long as you're not expecting returns every week and you can be patient during the blanks, then looks like he's going to get some goals. What will happen when Bonnie's... Because I don't think Bonnie's fully fit now, is he? What will happen when he comes back? Will they share game time? Will they play together? We don't know, I suppose. Ericsson for De Bruyne. Ericsson for De Bruyne. As in, you're bringing Ericsson in? Or bringing De Bruyne in? I don't think De Bruyne is worth the money. Do I want to do Silva for Salah for 1 week? No, I don't like 1 week transfers. I'd do something like that if I was definitely wildcard in the next week. When do we find out when the double game week is? Damn, you're thinking ahead. We Ben Cronin on Twitter will start working it out, I'd say. But it's not going to be until like game week 33-ish. If Jones and Davies are not past fit, then I play Sutler and get rid of one. Who do I bring in though? I'm really bad on defenders. Let me see. The Chelsea defender looks good, but so expensive. Maybe Man City. The thing is, it really is Otamendi, isn't it? Because the rest are too expensive. I'm just not sure I can get behind that move at all. I mean, Walker, yeah, but like I say, he's too expensive. Stones, or Company's out, maybe. I like Burnley defender, but just not this week. That's the problem. Maybe just go to Lindelof. If Jones is injured, Lindelof's going to play. I mean, there is like a forgotten team who've got some nice fixtures still. And that's Southampton. So maybe I could go Bertrand or Van Dijk. Would it trigger the wildcard? Would it trigger a wildcard? I don't think it would. Not yet. But yeah, I'd probably go for a... I know Southampton, people are starting to dislike their defenders, but the next 3 fixtures look good for clean sheets. West Brom at home, Brighton away and Burnley at home. I mean, they're playing 3 sides that don't score a lot of goals. You told a girl in the Women's League about my stream. Don't worry, it won't help her. I support Man United. If Vardy gets hurt, do you go back to Firmino? Do you know what? I've already thought about Vardy to Firmino next week in game week 10. I just wonder, will that be the start of one of his streaks? Huddersfield at home, West Ham away, Southampton at home. It's not bad. Maybe before a wild card. I thought he looked okay against Man United, to be honest. Southampton's defence has been pretty poor so far. Yeah, it did okay for me at the start. I just think I'm a big fan of just targeting fixtures when it comes to defenders. There'll always be the odd one like Davis or Alonso last year, where obviously you just play him against everyone. Phil Jones would probably play against anyone too. But I just love those next 3 Southampton fixtures. And I do think I'm looking at a wild card around game week 11 or 12. If I get game week 10, it's Vardy for Everton. Vardy's got Everton, and Stoke away, Man City at home. Is Jesus going to get benched? No, I don't think so. Salah or Sterling, who do you prefer for the next few? It's hard to argue against Sterling, isn't it? I'd like both. Well, I've got both. I'm very happy about that. I guess it's got to be Sterling. Like you say, he's in form. City got good fixtures. City in general are just in good form. The whole team is in great form. I do think Salah's going to score well, though. I'm more than happy to keep him for now. Just 8.1 million for Sterling. It's very hard to turn down. It's for your Ali replacement. Yeah, you'd probably go Sterling. The thing is, even as someone who's owns him, I'm always worried he's going to get rotated. Actually, I was thinking, we were chatting about how many games there are soon from like November to December and how much rotation there might be. But was it last season when we were like mad about rotation, but in the end it didn't actually happen? Was that the year before? I can't remember if last year there was no rotation, or last year was the one we talked about no rotation because it was the year before. Remember, we were all preparing for Christmas and hardly anyone missed a game. Do you know what I mean? Out of everyone that we had in our teams. Who to bench, Davis or Atsu? Phew, that's a tough one. Probably Davis, but I wouldn't really like that. But I don't usually. It has to be a pretty. Do you know what I mean? If Davis had like, I don't know, I would say Bournemouth at home, but that's just happened. I don't know, if Davis had a really good home fixture, then I probably wouldn't want to bench him. But it's Liverpool at home. I think you can probably bench him for that. Yeah, no, you're right. The fixtures are much worse this year, congestion-wise. But I almost... My tactic for that is usually just don't worry about it. Everybody is in the same boat. You will get those old players that will play every game. Like, I don't know, like the main centre-back for a club or something. Because Christmas is on a Monday, there'll be games on Saturday the 23rd and Tuesday the 26th. Oh, I tell you what, I'm really looking forward to Christmas. Hopefully, I'm going to have a good few days off work. I'll be in my new house. I just hope it rains all day, every day. And I just get to sit in my house and chill out. In my own couch, that I now own. And just watch football and drink beer. That's my dream for Christmas. And obviously get some green arrows along the way. Why does Mark keep encouraging people to keep Ali? Maybe he thinks he's going to come good. Yeah, I'm just hoping that we can get everything sorted for this house in the next month and a half so that I'm not stressing about it over Christmas. I want to be moved in. Job done. Oh, there'll be plenty of food. I mean, look at me, there's always plenty of food. Delph is your enabler, 4.5. Very nice. They released the Xmas TV fixtures today. Okay, nice. How's the broadband looking? Very slow. It's kind of done and dusted now. I've signed up for what I can get. I've got the modem. I'm just waiting for it to get installed, basically. It's going to be in before... Basically, I'm not cancelling the internet at this house until the absolute last minute. So I'll get the new one set up. Probably... I don't know. I want to test it first. I mean, it doesn't matter. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. It's not like I can change the house. Just fingers crossed I can still stream. I'll be gutted if I can't. Sky Q. Yes, I have inquired about that. Don't have it right now, but I would like to be able to watch TV in bed. How are the polls looking? Well reminded. You realised that I'm awful at remembering, and you've reminded me. Thank you very much. Because I would have forgotten. Yeah, let's do them now. Well, let's do them in a couple of minutes. I'll give people one last chance to vote. So top right, one day I'll do it first time. Top right corner around here. Hit that little I button. Hover over it, click it, whatever. And vote. You might be better off with the iPhone hotspot, I know. Tell me about it. Broadband through the phone line with a micro filter. I haven't seen a micro filter for like, I don't know, 10 years maybe. I've had fibre broadband through cable probably for about 10 years now. And now this has got a freaking micro filter. Mobile signal's not great. 4G is probably not going to be an option. Anyway, look, we don't need to worry about that. It's either going to work or it's not. If the stream doesn't happen, maybe someone else will take over. Maybe someone else will start streaming. Someone better looking, more knowledgeable. What else? Does good graphics. Doesn't say all the time. And you can just watch them instead. Where you live, you can only get 20 megabytes per second max. Well, where I am, it's up to 12. So, anyway, it should be enough to stream. But let's see what I actually get when I get there. Always thinks about coverage, yes. You got me hooked up to the big screen, I like it. Someone who remembers stuff, yeah, I'm awful, to be honest. I need to have a notepad on the screen, like, to remind me what to do. You got 60 megabytes per second. Look at you all rubbing it in my face. I've got like up to 320 right now. That's going. Kaput, gone. But it's not available where I'm going. Would I take Eriksen out if I didn't have Sterling? Maybe, yeah. I'll probably think about that. Pen and paper? You're going from 4G to Virgin Broadband. Will it save your season? Yeah, I think it will. Thoughts on the World Cup? Am I excited to see Messi finally win it? Hell no. I'm looking forward to Captain Kane lifting the trophy. Polls. Philman says polls. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, the polls aren't for my team. So, like, getting rid of Kane for Jesus is more for people that don't have him. I mean, I know that's like a question not everyone will answer the same way. Because if someone's already got Jesus, they're not going to put that, I know. But it's kind of more of what's the best option, really. Okay, polls. Let's do them. Let's do them. Chill out, people. Chill out. Where are they? Where are they? Don't forget, by the way, when I'm looking up these polls, hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new around here. It'll be much appreciated. 132 likes now. Let's get to 150. So over 350 of you watching. If you haven't hit it already, thumbs up. Much appreciated. Okay. Just refreshing, just refreshing. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Hey, Trav, how's it going? Okay. Here they are. It's a Game Week 9 captain. Again, obviously I can only have maximum of 5 options. So I would love to split the City options out. But it's just... I almost thought about just putting in Sterling instead of Morata and Hazard. But anyway, I can't split them out. So, 38%. And just say, there's been 300 votes. So there'll probably be this for the rest of them. 38% going for Jesus or a Man City mid. 32% going for Lukaku. So they're by far the most popular picks. 14% Morata or Hazard. I guess that's mostly Morata. I know there's a few Hazard owners in the chat. 11% for Kane, so he's right down. I mean, in the actual game, I'm sure I'll be quite high up, but this really could be a big rank booster if it goes right for us this week. And then 4% said someone else. So 38% Man City player basically, 32 Lukaku, 14 Morata, 11 Kane, 4% other. Morata outscoring Kane across the next few weeks and then transfer back in. That is an option. I just don't know if I want to use 2 transfers to do it. What to do with Harry Kane? Again, about 300 votes. 67% say keep. Unsurprisingly, I think. They say keep him. He's going to do the business. He's going to score against Liverpool. Job done. 67%. 17% say to sell for Morata. 9% sell for Aguero or Jesus. Only 3% say sell for Lukaku. I think that's fair enough because you don't want him for the 2 games after. And 2% said they'd sell him for someone else. Lacazette, maybe? I don't think so. Number of transfers this week. Do people want me to keep putting this question in, by the way? It seems like a bit of a boring question. It's just something consistent to have every time. Every time it's the stream before the game week, just before the game week starts, but I don't know. If you do, I'm happy to keep putting it in. So again, about 300 responses. 32% have only made 1 transfer. 29% are saving. I think I'm going to be saving 2. 27% have said they're making 2. So that's quite split. 1, 0, 2 is all about the same. Only 7% making 3 or more. And 3% of you have wildcarded this week. Which Man City mid? Sterling, 62%. He's way ahead. I guess he scored 6 goals and he's the cheapest one. So why wouldn't you go for him? 62%. 25% David Silva. 7% saying De Bruyne, putting him ahead of Sané. Only 3%. So Sterling by far the winner there. Kane needs 8 points per game for him to be worth it. It's unsustainable. Yes, of course. He does need a higher points per game. That's obviously relying that the cheaper options will get you those points too. Like if Kane only gets 6 points per game, but no one else is really performing better, then I guess he's still worth it to work like that. I mean, you've got to bear in mind, most people in the past have seen Kane as a guaranteed captain. They'll always get something. Obviously, that's not the case right now, but that's another reason people have him. Jesus or Aguero? For this week, I think Jesus is the better option. To be honest with you. Liverpool's defence isn't great. He's actually a captain option. So I'm not saying he's not a captain option, but he's not the nailed captain option, the where it's just stick it on Kane, job done, every week. Right now, people are not looking at captaining Kane. Would I captain Atsu for a £10 donation? I'd appreciate £10 donation, of course, but no, I wouldn't captain Atsu. Still got to get my points, man. Someone asked me what defender would I... Any money? Do you know what? I wonder if Charlie Daniels... Charlie Daniels... Probably Alonso. In the hope that he would return to form, but... Charlie Daniels looks pretty good, doesn't he? Can't be Charlie Daniels. Give me any money and I choose Charlie Daniels. Doesn't sound right, does it? Hang on. Maybe a Spurs centre-back? Because they got West Brom and Crystal Palace at home, which is nice. For next 4 to 5 game weeks. See, Man United, if you discount Spurs and Chelsea, they got Huddersfield away, Newcastle and Brighton, so maybe Valencia. Don't know. Adam Lamb with a £5 donation. Thank you very much. Keep up the good work. No question. Just get everyone to send some good vibes for my Hazard captain. Good luck, Hazard captain. I think, and this is like a very cliche thing to say. It's an FPL cliche. I don't think there's a standout captain this week. I think there's some good choices like Man City players, Lukaku look good. But there's no standout captain, so Hazard captain, fingers crossed it doesn't punish you too much if it goes wrong. We'll have to see. Alright, Candyland is going on. Turn it up a little bit. Kane has never scored at Old Trafford. Well, maybe that'll happen this time around. You mentioned Valencia for United, but De Gea and Jones is the way to go. I mean, to be fair, the question was any defender for 4 to 5 weeks. It wasn't the best value. Of course, yeah, I'd get Jones instead of Valencia, but I'd probably be tempted to risk Valencia if it was anyone. Still waiting for Luke Shaw to come back. Don't think it's happened, is it, lads? I wonder if he'll still be at Man United soon. Vice Captain Sterling, yeah, I think that's fair enough. No, I don't think there aren't any safe weeks for Maverick captains. I mean, I agree. Generally, you should go for. Oh, God, how obvious is this, Sam? Obviously, you should go for someone you think is going to score points. If they score consistent points, perfect. But I mean, what we really want from our captain is that explosive option. That's what we're looking for. You know, I said it before. Like last year, Costa was getting like points every game. It was only 6. So some people wouldn't captain him because of that. Even though 18 points spread over 3 weeks captain is much better than like a 0-14... Oh, sorry, like a 2-14-2. Sorry, it's not much better, but it's the same, right? So 0-14... Jesus Christ. 2-14-2 is just... whatever. Well, you know what I'm trying to say, basically. It's points spread out if you captain every week. A consistent captain could be good. I'm going to give up on the maths part of that speech. I just think in a week like this, I don't think Hazard is, you know, a complete risk, basically. He's not someone that everyone's looking at, but I don't think he's a risk. So I think it's a good week to captain him. Yeah, not maths done. 2 plus 12. Did I say 2 plus 12 plus 2 is 16? Okay. Hang on, what did I say? 666 is better than 2-14-2. No, it's the same. They're both 18. Which I think is what I was trying to say. Right? I don't know. Why keep Foster? Because I don't really want to spend a transfer on a goalkeeper. Oh man, it's not hot. That is like the worst thing I've ever heard. Is Hazard a must if he starts up front? Again, I think that's like... I know Sanchez did really well playing up front, to be fair to him. But I don't think Hazard's suddenly going to score loads more points playing in a different position. I'm not on for any bonus points. I'm about to get subbed. Basically, I'm about to get subbed on the 59th minute. Which is 1 minute before 60. Just in case you didn't know. How many successful captains a season is good? You saw a tweet today saying that 30 out of 38 is the target. Honestly, I've never really thought about it. 30 out of 38 seems high, to be honest. I do think captain choice, though, sometimes people worry too much about getting the explosive option instead of the consistent option. Jesus or Lukaku captain? Probably. I don't know. Originally I was saying Lukaku, but I think I've come round to Jesus. Have I kept track of the success rate of this captain poll on FS? No, not looked at all really. Guardiola will look for someone to break up the Burnley defence. Aguero is probably the man over Jesus. You could be right, yeah. Clark's Irish. Kieran Clark. Aguero definitely starts over Jesus. That's just not a statement you can make with any confidence. Lots of people making a good case for Eden Hazard, to be fair, this week. Again, though, it's tough for my team structure to get him in. Because really, I'd want him in for Atsu, but that's like trying to find 5.5 million from somewhere. Sterling or Morata as captain? I'd probably go Morata. Apparently Man City are going to do a big shuffle. Says who? Hazard is too tricky to get in unless I get rid of Salah or Eriksen, but I still need to make money from somewhere. So maybe he's a wildcard option later on. I don't know. I still think there's better value out there. Any player you fear not owning this week? I mean, Lukaku's ownership's still huge. It's a good game. I guess him. Again, though, like without trying to sound like too much of a broken record, there's so much choice this year that I'm not really worried about anyone because I feel like my team's pretty good. And like I said, there's gonna be ups and downs all season. Unfortunately, I'd like it just to be plenty of ups for me. Abraham is the striker budget option we've been waiting for. Cheapest chips involved in 80% of Swansea's goals. 80% of not a lot is not a lot though. But yeah, yeah, he's looked at better recently. I still just not sure about Swansea. Davis and Ali or Daniels and Hazard. I think Daniels and Hazard. Probably Daniels and Hazard, yeah. Please do the maths for 80% of Abraham's goals. It'd be funny. Hey, look, I'm not that stupid. How many goals has he scored? Like 4? So Swansea have scored... Oh, I don't know. I was going to say 6, but I don't think that's right. I don't even know if I can work it out. How many has he scored? He scored 4, and he's been involved in 80%. Okay, so you can have assists. I don't know how many assists he's got. See you later, dude. Okay, yeah, of course. Oh my god. I thought the maths was okay in the last stream. I'm gonna give up in this stream. Any thoughts on Daniels 4.9 versus Dawson 5? I think Daniels wins out. Yeah, okay, I'm being really stupid. I promise you I'm not this bad at maths. It's just the pressure, man. 4 goals, 80%. I couldn't even work it out. I was thinking he had assists as well. I have an excuse, alright? We'll see. Tom Cranny with the €5. I love all the different currencies we have. Cheers for the donation, my man. I love the channel. I watch through every video. It's my first serious season of FPL. Nice. The only problem with that is you're sucked in now. You have to keep playing. Your first season, and then 8 years later, you realise you're still playing about and talking about the same stuff. Schmeichel or Elliott this week? I know Crystal Palace just put 2 against Chelsea, but I think I'd play Elliott. Elliott at home versus Schmeichel away. I think I'll just go for the home. I don't think... I know I just said Swansea aren't scoring too many goals, but... yeah, I think I'd go Elliott. Be interesting to know what everyone else in the chat thinks. I think Espen was around the other day. I made him mod. Elliott home goalkeeper, someone says there. I think I agree with that. I don't need to currency convert €5. That's what I use every day. I know exactly what €5 can buy someone. Morata or Hazard to build a wildcard around. Morata. I think Hazard's more interesting though. Oh, for the Norway money. Yeah, fair enough. Ba-da-ba-dum-bum-bum. Gonna do Ali to Hazard unless you can suggest a better replacement. You already got 3 Man City and you can't afford Sanchez. I mean, that looks okay this week. You might want a Liverpool midfielder next week. But if you're desperate to get rid of him, sure. There's no whiskey in the Coke, no. Friday deadline to catch 3 catches out? No, I don't think it'll catch out too many. Do you keep Ben Davis and Phil Jones? I am, unless we get bad news about him. And then after that, I'm going to think about a defender I want, and there's not many. Chelsea don't look the same without Kante, do they? I think most people assume they wouldn't keep as many clean sheets as soon as Kante was out. First year playing FPL properly, sucked in now, going to be 20-30 and still saying no to coverage. That's what it's all about. It does turn into a bit of an obsession, FPL. Is Shane Long moving house with me? Yeah, definitely. Jones is not worried, Davis is. Well, let's see. The thing is, will Pochettino even mention him in the press conference? Come out of the blue last time. If I had Forster, West Brom at home, would you play Elliott or Forster? Forster, I think. That Shane Long picture scores as many goals as the real thing. Yeah, I definitely played FPL differently when I first started. I was always... these days, I do more stuff for FPL. I do the streams, podcasts. But I don't think about it as much. Well, that sounds really weird. And I think that helps me not get... When I first started, I'd be talking about FPL all day, every day. And you would just go through so many options. That it just made it a nightmare. Because by the end of the week, you literally thought of every single different thing you could do with your team. So the weekend was always disappointing. And I would always be looking for a differential. Now I've kind of like... I just play a bit more... Oh, I don't know. Not casually. That's for sure not casually. But I don't worry about it as much. It worked out last year. Hopefully it'll work out this year too. That makes no sense, does it? I know. Words are not good for me tonight. No, I've only ever played FPL. I haven't ever really played other. Well, I've played since starting FPL. I've played other fantasy games, but not before. I only started playing because someone invited me to their league, and I thought, oh, I'm definitely going to win this. I need some tips. That's where I found Fantasy Football Scout, and the rest is history. Switch to numbers. I actually, it's like countdown. I much prefer the numbers round to the words. Should we be worried about team value? I haven't worried about it at all this season, to be honest. I've let players drop if I wanted to keep them. I don't think I've made too many transfers where I've looked at team value, to be honest. What's my feeling about Speroni's chances of keeping his place for Crystal Palace? I'll be straight up honest and say I'm not 100% clued up on that situation. I think Hennessy came in and played against Chelsea, right? I didn't see the game, but I read that he played really well. Sorry. Other way around. Speroni came in and played really well. But Hennessy's been number one for so long. I don't know if there's a great chance. I wouldn't like to be making that decision this week. That's one for me that I'd like to hold off on and just wait and see. Are you on a wildcard, Ken? It honestly would not surprise me one bit if Hennessy just comes straight back in. Andy is between 25 and 45. That is correct. Mark, the stream has been on 1 hour and 25 minutes. Oh, you need to make money to get a City player. Yeah, no, I'm not sure. Which City player are you bringing in though? Sign of playing too much FPL is when you ask the missus to check. I've used her phone before to check. I've been out and my phone's died or something. The other thing is like, it's when you're like in a pub or something, or when you walk into a pub. Like I was in for Christmas last year. I was in, well, not Christmas, but like a week or two before Christmas. I was in London, and I walked into our hotel bar, and I saw it was 1-0 Man United. So I asked the guy who scored. I think it was Zebra. And And then, so obviously my follow-up question was, who assisted? No one in a pub cares about that, not unless they play fantasy football. I think it was Phil Jones or something. Will I be on for much longer? Probably not super long. I'm not crazy about it, but I could handle having a non-playing second keeper to have a player like Jesus. Do you think there's any worries about Jesus? I mean, I've got him, so sometimes I wonder if I'm just being biased because of that. But I mean, he's pretty much starting every game. He's not necessarily getting loads of minutes, but he's playing all the time, and he's consistently scoring as well. So I think that it's a pretty good shot what you're doing there. I should give you a clue about my age. Well, Phil was right. It's between 25 and 45. There you go. Who am I going to captain? If I don't make a transfer, it's going to be between those City boys, and I think I might switch it to Jesus. How often do people recognise you when you're in London? Never. Absolutely never. See, Eskimo is thinking that the 85 in the name is my birth year when it's not. The 85 throws everyone off. You're worried about Jesus. I think he'll get dropped once Aguero's back. Will he though? Why didn't that happen before? Is it safe to wait until tomorrow's presses for Man City news? Well, I think you should always wait. You have Sterling, but but now that Aguero is back, should you try and swap to David Silva? No. I think you just don't worry about it. You wait until Sterling misses a few games. Is there a Scoutcast Christmas party? No, but they did say we should, because we meet up in the summer usually. They did say we should meet up at Christmas as well. I don't think it's going to happen though. Don't people say, "Hey, that's Andy from Fantasy Football Scout"? No, never. A few people at work have cottoned on though, and come up to me and said, "Hang on, you're on blah blah blah." Lots of guesses on the age still. Are the Scoutcast crew and others meeting in London again? Probably in the summer. Are we going to be talking about 3 premium forwards again after this game week? That all depends on the premium midfielders. If Sanchez and Hazard get braces, maybe even Salah nicks a goal against Tottenham with good fixtures coming up, Eriksen does well again, City mids do well, then maybe we go 3-5-2, forget the 3 big forwards. Maybe that happens. I just think it'd be cool to make the Scoutcast open to the the meetup open to the public. Have it more like a con event, not like a con event, I suppose, but I don't know, something bigger. Does anything happen if we get your age? Afraid not. I didn't bring it up. How did all you streamers decide to start each video in a stream with "What's up, everybody"? I don't know. It kind of just happens, I guess. No transfers. Not yet. I'm probably not going to make any this week, to be honest. Dedicate the stream to Phil. Yeah, I already spoke about Phil at the start of the video. If anyone wants to see it, they can rewind. 50,000 people in the room asking A or B questions. Oh, that would be so funny. When's my wildcard coming out of my back pocket? That is the question on everyone's lips. That's the biggest question in the FPL community right now. What overall rank am I aiming for come the end of the season? Top 5k again would be nice. 2 top 5k finishes in a row would be good. Top 1k, of course. Number 1 would be nice. I reckon the wildcard's got, unless something goes majorly wrong, I think the wildcard has got until game week 12 maximum. I'm not going to make a wildcard team this week, I'm afraid. Have I ever signed an autograph? No. If Eriksen was to pick up a short-term injury, who would you get in his place? Let's say Eriksen and Davis was out this week. If it was just Eriksen that was out, I'd maybe go Silva. If Davis and Eriksen were both out, I would probably downgrade Davis and get Hazard, to be honest. You're just outside the top 5k, very nice. If you keep getting green arrows, the wildcard will stay in your pocket. I don't know. I think there's... See, game week 12, a few things happen. So, Newcastle's fixtures get poor. So, I probably want rid of Atsu. I don't want to play Elliott, which means I need a keeper to replace Foster. Lukaku's fixtures get better again. Will I still want 2 Man City players at that point? I don't know. Vardy, I'm probably going to want to get rid of. Davis, will he still be playing? Week in, week out? We don't know. So I think in 3 weeks I'll have a bit more info. And I know I've said that loads of times so far this season. I won't wildcard in game week 4 because by 6 I'll have more info. By 8 I'll have more info, etc, etc. But I don't know. And I think I need to clear my bench as well. Why haven't you switched out Salah for Coutinho? I don't know, I just haven't. Unfortunately, you can't go back in time and get the best player every week. What's that, Chris Finley? More people tuning into streams like this. I don't think that was answering to me, was it? My best ever finish is like last year, top 5k. How many of the 5 million starting teams do you think are still active? I think Fantasy Football Fix said there's about 4 million still active. Is Salah really on Liverpool penalties? That's what Klopp has said. Let's wait and see what actually happens though first. We seem to have based that comment on 1 penalty for Egypt. Mark, nah, he's never really used Twitter, to be honest. If you donate £20, could you send me a signed photograph? Well, you donate the money and then we'll see if that happens. Cheers, Jeff. Catch you next time. This week is a little stale, don't you think? Yeah, you're probably right, actually. I think people making the most transfers are probably those looking to pick up Man City assets because they don't have one, or they don't have the ones they want. So yeah, you're probably right, it is a bit stale. But the problem is, like, you've maybe got Morata, you've maybe got Aguero, but because people are still waiting to see them play a bit. Mkhitaryan and Bailly dropping tonight. Interesting. I actually had an idea for a giveaway. I'm not going to say what it was, and I'm not going to promise it's ever going to happen. No, I can't say anymore. But I did have an idea today for a giveaway. And two things are going to happen now. If it does happen. One, there's going to be a certain percentage of people that are now going to be anticipating it, thinking it's something amazing is coming. And they're going to be severely disappointed. And there's going to be a certain section of you who watch the streams enough that although the giveaway is awful, you'll actually love it. So, yeah, maybe I'll do it. I have to give it a bit of thought. Radislav, you really need a question answered, but donations aren't allowed in your region. Hey, look, I answer plenty of questions without donations. It's what I do for most of the time. No, not Shane Long. No new emojis designed, unfortunately, yet. The glasses, I don't even know if I've still got those glasses. PS4 with a Logitech G29 and GT Sport. Yeah. The sellotape that was on the chair for the... Oh my god. That's probably a better idea than what I have, to be honest. Shane Long's going nowhere. Send out some parcel tape. I don't know what Office Space is. A club biscuit? No, maybe I could add a club biscuit in. Moving house soon-ish. Next month and a half. It's basically going to happen over the next month and a half. So what will happen to the streams and stuff, I don't know. But fingers crossed I'll still do at least 2 a week. You watch me every day. That's impressive because I don't put a video out every day. Do you watch reruns? It's the first live stream you've caught. Alright. Forster, Cedric and Tadgett. You're a bit worried about having all three of them. You have Clark and Elliott. Should you spread 2 of each team or go berserk for Saints? I mean, Saints have got a good fixture this week, right? Is it not West Brom at home? I'd probably just play all 3 of them, to be honest. Yeah, I'll be in Galway-ish. The objects associated with the channel: sellotape, a club bar, and sunglasses. Is this a football channel or a car boot sale? We could become a car boot sale. No worries, Radoslav. Yeah, no, I think Southampton got. Big ricey. Retweet and like for the Let's Talk FPL hampers. Sellotape, orange. No, not an orange club biscuit. It'll be a purple club biscuit. Sunglasses and Ribena in a plain used bottle. That's not Ribena. That's Tesco owned blackcurrant squash. How's it going, mister? Right, last chance to vote on the polls. We'll do them again soon. Ish. Thoughts on a hoodie without the strings? Jesus Christ, people notice everything. Why don't you just get satellite broadband? What's satellite broadband really like? I looked to that. How is it not like really intermittent? I feel like I need the cable actually attached. Look, we're not going to get back into this. The purple club is the best. Get over it. Expensive but decent. Expensive and laggy. There you go. I think I'm going to stick to the phone line. And then upgrade it whenever I can. I'm only going to do the polls if there's been a lot more votes. If there's not very many votes versus last time, then I'm not going to do them again. No, I can't get back into a biscuit conversation now. Oh, donations have popped up here. Yeah, cheers again to Yanks, Adam, and Tom for the donations. Much appreciated. Thinking about putting that money towards a new computer because I really need one. This one's starting to get a bit laggy. I don't know how long it's going to hold on for. To be honest, it's nearly 6 years old at this point. Okay, there's been a fair few extra votes, so let's give you a couple more minutes. So if you want to vote, right here. What's the white thing on the blinds? It's like part of the thing. Yeah, look, someone said to me the other day, "Are you ever going to open them?" There you go. They're open. Everyone can see me streaming now. I'm downstairs. And they're gone again. It's just on the bit on the wire, basically. There were a few mic issues in the preview video. Could just be you. Oh, did anyone else think there was an issue with the mic? What I've noticed is recently it's recording quite loudly. So when I edit it, and I know it doesn't let there's much editing involved, but when I edit it and put it together, see you later, Ken. I have to decrease the sound quite a lot. Skipped a bit, did it? Okay, that's annoying. Have you ever shaved your beard? Yeah, of course. Okay, there's a status skip. That's annoying. I think I need to sugar. Okay, I need to rewatch it. Okay, I think one thing I need to do is the program I use to do the streams and the videos, I think maybe it starts slowing down once I use it for quite a while. So what I usually do is, well, for the preview I would have recorded after the Scoutcast, it would have been the first time I loaded it up. I don't know. I think in general I need a new computer, basically. This was very old. How do you become a sponsor? When you're on the main stream, it should say watch on YouTube Gaming and then say sponsor next to it. So you have to go into it basically takes you into another view, YouTube Gaming, then you can sponsor. It differs depending on your region. It will tell you obviously before you sign up. And then, but after that, you can just watch it however you normally watch it. But I think you've got to be on desktop to do it, first of all. But once you've done it, you can just watch on any device and it will show your name in green with the logo next to you. Van Arnold, that's an interesting choice actually. Could be a good one. What do I think about replacing Firmino with Vardy? Maybe just keep Firmino now if you've not already done it. But yeah, as for the pre-video, I will try and watch it fully back next time. Because what I usually do with those previews and reviews is I record it in one take. I know a lot of people make those videos and they'll say a bit, like a minute, 30 seconds or a minute, then they'll cut it and then they'll start the next bit. Well, I like doing them all in one go and kind of just getting into a kind of flow. Great rap there. But it means I don't necessarily watch it all back afterwards because I just assume it's recorded properly. It's a bit annoying. Change the exclusive picture, their badge to a picture of your face and I'll subscribe. Yeah, well I could I could change it to anything really. Not my face. I can make an emoji out of my face. What time am I going to sleep? I don't know, I might play some FIFA after this stream. We'll see. Yeah, polls are in the top right corner. Click the little eye. Where does the music come from? Do I need to pay for royalties? The music's in the description. You can have a look for yourself. It's royalty free. That's why I use it and why I've used it for so long. Signed candy. Yeah, I've played Foot Champions the last two weekends. Got 21 wins the first weekend, 23 the last one. You've been playing FIFA on mute with the stream up. Nice choice. I think I'm in Division 5. I'm trying to get to Division 4 now. Actually finding Divisions tougher than Foot Champions sometimes. How's Snapchat doing? Snapchat is uninstalled from my phone. I gave up on it. I figure I'm too old. Couldn't really get on with it. Might put it back with a different username. Just use it. My little boy loves it, so he's always like messaging the family or whatever. Okay, let's do the polls. Don't forget, if you haven't already, hit that like button. It would be much appreciated. Subscribe as well if you're new around here. We're on just over 5,600 on the road to 10k. But let's do the polls. Okay, game week 9 captain. Oh, this is narrowed out a bit. There's been like nearly 100 more votes now. So Jesus or a Man City mid, 36%. So that's still the highest, but Lukaku's caught up a bit. So he's on 35% now, so they're very close. 14% say Morata or Hazard, 9% say Kane, and 3% say other. What to do with Harry Kane? 67% say keep, 17% say sell for Morata, 10% say sell for Aguero or Jesus. So Morata a little bit higher there, and 2% for Lukaku, fair enough, and 1% for someone else. Number of transfers. So 36% say 1, 28% say 0, 24% say 2. So again, one's kind of got a bit ahead there. 3 plus is 7%, and 3% is I've wildcard instead. Which Man City mid? 61% saying Sterling, 27% saying Silva, 7% saying De Bruyne, and 3% Salah. So Sterling's still ahead, but he's dropped down a little bit. Not too much though. Yeah, gotta remind people about that like button. I'm a sucker for those likes. Lloris or Elliott in net this week? I'd probably go Lloris, I think. I think I'd set and forget my main expensive option. I'd usually end the stream right now, but I'm off work tomorrow, so we'll go a little bit longer. Don't know how much longer. But we'll stay on for a bit. Cheers, Matthew, if you are going. Appreciate it, as always. Look at that lovely green subscriber name. I think Richarlison is underrated. I wouldn't say underrated. I think a lot of people are looking at him. Could end up with 3 Palace players in Wildcard. Wow. FPL is your release from family, and family is your release from FPL. I like that. I'm your favourite YouTuber. You need to watch some more YouTubers. See you later, Physio. Good luck with the vlog. Go and follow Physio on Twitter. He's just started a new blog. I'm sure if you just search FPL Physio, he'll show up. Glad you're loving the streams, Bob. Been watching much of FPL Family? Yeah, I've seen a few. I'm really bad when it comes to watching and reading and listening to other FPL stuff. It's just like, I stream twice a week. I make 2 videos. I do the Scoutcast. It's like, how much more FPL stuff do I want to see and read? If people did more stuff on YouTube, I'd probably do it, because I tend to have YouTube on at work. Just go from there. Do I watch any FIFA YouTubers? I like Spencer. I watch a lot of the pro videos just to kind of see how they play. See you later, Samaran. What's going on with the Mickey Mouse music? This music's great. Triple Captain Atsu, nah. But let's say Atsu gets Bournemouth and Brighton at home in the double game week, something like that. Who knows? Does Atsu pay me to promote him? Nah. I want to see. What's it called? Atsu make a donation in the stream. People don't get the music, they don't. Well, then all they need to get is that I'm allowed to play it on a stream. To be honest, it doesn't matter what music I put on. There'll always be someone that hates it. So, just get over it, really. I will turn it down a bit though, because we had it up a bit because of Candyland. Will Defoe start scoring goals? I don't know, maybe Age is finally catching up with him. But not a good fit for Bournemouth. Fozzie even downloads the songs for the stream. I've actually seen a picture from Fozzie of his car radio with Candyland playing. Spurs or Pool win this Sunday? I'm going to say Spurs. I think Spurs got the better defence. I think in attack, Liverpool could cause them problems, but I don't think they'll cause them a huge amount. I'd say it's going to be tight though. I think you did good to jump off the Lukaku train early. I mean, it's working out okay now, but to be fair, it was a mistake. The only thing is, I suppose, is that I've got rid of him, whereas people are going to find it tough to get rid. You can only play so much music without getting a copyright strike. It's not really about how much you play, it's about what you play. And the music I play on stream, I'm allowed to play without getting a copyright strike. I actually got earlier. I don't know if I don't know how much YouTube you guys watch generally. There's like a big thing going on right now where a lot of YouTubers are getting demonetized. I actually had that earlier. They demonetized my last video. I had to get it manually reviewed. It's not like I'm relying on it to live or anything. Like I've got a job or whatever. I just thought it was funny that all these big YouTubers are getting hit and then they hit me for nothing. Will I have 15 playing players after Wildcard or keep the fodder 5th defence? That will all depend on who I want to bring in. I want to have 5 playing players, and I think when there's defenders that are potentially playing for 4.4 million, I should look to get them. But if I can make a better starting team with a couple of good subs by having a bench fodder, I may keep it. When Pogba comes back, are you going to go straight in for him or wait and see? I'd probably wait and see. It depends at what point he comes back, I suppose, fixture-wise. But I want to see how he reintegrates. But he did look pretty good beforehand. Pogba's price is... Let's have a look. 8 million, back down to 8. The thing is, like the last 2 seasons, we haven't seen much rotation. We were discussing this earlier. What's my job? I do like community management stuff. That 0.5 million is more helpful than one game week and only field 10 players. Yeah, you could be right there, to be fair. Maybe I'll start thinking that way when it actually comes to making my wildcard. Should you keep Lukaku? Do Man United create enough? I mean, for this week, I think it's okay to keep him. Morata's price is very good. You'll go Mkhitaryan and Bertrand out, Sterling and Valencia in. What's your thoughts? I don't like that. I think Mkhitaryan to Sterling is fine, just keep Bertrand. I don't think Valencia in is worth it right now. Southwark says if push comes to the shove to concentrate on semi-final leg of Champions League. Semi-final leg of Champions League or concentrate on top 4. Most would take top 4. I don't know if they would, to be honest. I don't know. Like we saw what Mourinho did last year. He fully... I mean, to be fair, it was hard to get top 4, I suppose, at that point. But he really went for the Europa League. Oh, if it was the Champions League, even better. You'd be so happy to see Sterling rotated. Ah, so harsh. You have Joselu with 5 million in the bank. Do I do Joselu to Morata next week? Well, Morata looks pretty good, I think. Joselu, yeah, not for me. You got Crystal Palace at home, so yeah, fair enough if you keep him. You see what Morata does. How many players in FPL do you have in your foot team? Jesus, I think. That's it. I want Eriksen, though. Yeah, just Jesus. Not the inform. Your dad just bought in Gabbiadini. Maybe that's genius. Maybe that is absolute genius. Right, people. We've been going... The stream's been up for 2 hours. That's nearly 2 hours. I know, obviously, it's up for about 5 minutes without me there at the start, but I think that's good for tonight. That's longer than the last few streams have been. Been enjoying the chat. Thanks again. I know I've already said it, but to Tom, Adam, and Yanks for the donations. Really appreciated. I'll work on that giveaway, by the way. Yeah, I think it'd be funny. What else? Yeah, if you haven't already, give the video a thumbs up. It'd be much appreciated. Subscribe if you are new around here. We're trying to get to 10k. It'll obviously let you know when I'm going live again. Let you know when my videos are going up. As always, I haven't checked next week, so the next stream will be on Sunday because the last game of the week is on Sunday, and then we'll stream again on Thursday. Probably and do the couple of vids in between. I'm thinking about. I thought about doing 3 streams a week and cutting the review. The problem is, I shouldn't really start this conversation when I've just said the stream's ending, but the problem is, the review I kind of do in not much time after the Scoutcast, whereas obviously I can't stream. It just means another day of streaming. I don't know if I can do that, to be honest. So, yeah, I forget I said that. But I'd like to stream more. I just always worry there's not enough to talk about on multiple streams. Like having one at the end of the week and one at the start is kind of handy because you've got all the kind of what's the word? All the knee jerk of what just happened on the first stream, and then everyone's kind of calmed down by the Thursday stream, and they kind of know what more they do. So I think I'll stick for that for now. Yeah, to be fair, I don't really want to change things. I've been quite consistent, I suppose. Just always thinking about other stuff I could do. I feel like there's something maybe I could do more in those reviews. But I need to keep it something I can do quick, though. Anyway, I'm going to shut up. Thanks again for tuning in. Like, share it when it goes live on Twitter. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I will catch you next time. Good luck in Game Week 9. Hopefully I do better than everyone and slowly get to number 1 in the world. But until then, I'll catch you later. Cheers all.